Hello, 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 fellow addicts. Alyssa and Safi popping in with some exciting news. We recently received the next event packet from EA laying out the details for the next event in our pocket-sized towns, and you know what that means. Spoiler time. Of course, as always, we weren't allowed to share any of the info with you guys because of the NDA until EA gave us the okay. That restriction has now been lifted, and we are able to share some next event spoilers with you. So just like we've been doing, we're going to give you a quick rundown of what the next event will entail with some spoiler details and images. So get ready, grab a pen and paper, and be prepared for information overload. As always, we're going to reveal a bunch of spoilers in this video, so if you don't want to know, this may not be the video for you. And now for your official spoiler warning. Spoilers incoming in 3, 2, 1, spoiler time. The next event will hit our games on Wednesday, April 12th, and the theme of this one is, any guesses? Any guesses? Well, it starts 3 days post-Easter, so the most logical thing would be blasphemy. Well, the next event is entitled Heaven Won't Wait. So let's show off that splash screen. Saf, thoughts on this splash screen?
Again, we've discussed this a few times. When the splash screen looks good, the event is usually bad. When the splash screen looks bad, the event is usually good. So the good news is I really like the splash screen, a little Michelangelo's creation of Adam fresco reimagining, like Homer touching out to Skyfinger in lieu of Adam touching out to God. But yeah, the fact that it's such a good splash screen has me a little worried about the event. So there's the bad. So, but yeah, overall, I think this splash screen was done really well in the bracket battle. How about you? What do you think of this splash screen?
Yeah, I think it's a great play. It's amusing, but most of them are. This one I feel like is better than the last one we had. I'm a little more excited about this one, but yeah, I think it's a good splash screen. So I
You
expect
don't
the event
like
to be terrible.
Skyfinger with wings coming out last time?
No, I was not a fan of the last event, but that's just me. But yeah, no, I like this one. I think this is good. So like I said, I expect the event to be terrible. All right, so some basic quick facts about the event overall. Once again, we are at another multi-event with each act hitting every 9 days. Similar formula to what we've been seeing the last, million years or so. So Act 1 will hit on Wednesday, April 12th, this coming Wednesday. Act 2 will hit on Friday, April 21st. Act 3 will hit on Sunday, April 30th. And Act 4 will hit on Tuesday, I have the wrong date written on my sheet. Hang on. May 9th. Sorry. This event will run until May 17th. So get ready for 5 weeks of heaven right here in our pocket-sized towns. I wonder how Jesus is going to feel about being upstaged again. Just a thought.
Not to mention the fact that it's 5 weeks of heaven. It's supposed to be seventh heaven. Like, do they not watch CW? 7 weeks of heaven is what we needed.
It's true. Not really, though. 7 weeks would be way too long. Anyway, so we know that this event is based on, well, heaven. But what are we looking at this time around? Here is the event overview from EA. And remember, reading is hard. God is finally fed up with the human race and decides to test humanity one more time by dropping a new Garden of Eden in Springfield. But when Lisa points out a theological loophole and recruits Jesus to humanity's side, God gets exasperated and declares no one will be allowed into heaven anymore, which prompts the locals to immediately start building their own heaven on earth, or at least the theme park version of it. God returns even more upset and decides to abandon humanity completely. Desperate to win back God's attention, Springfield decides to put on a show. Will this please God and save Springfield, or will he get his apocalypse on? Oh, I almost got through it perfect.
That was almost perfect. And I need to point out to our readers or viewers for this video that it is 1 a.m. Eastern time right now. And the fact that you did this from your office at 1 a.m. near perfection. It was like Andres Galarraga or Armando Galarraga, sorry, excuse me, like a perfect game blown in the bottom of the ninth. So yeah, really close. But the fact that you did it at 1 a.m., props to you.
I am
Good to
tired,
go.
guys. You could see the giant bags under my eyes. I am exhausted. All right, Saf, thoughts on that overview?
I mean, the overview sounds good. It sounds interesting. It has a lot of potential there. Um, yeah, it's just it leads to like questions about what kind of characters and content can they bring in, because we have had a few religious themed events. We've had a few heavens and hells, both with Halloween and past Christmas events. So yeah, it's the synopsis sounds good, but what content was going to back it up, considering how much similar content we already have, is my question. How about
Yeah.
you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good point. I do think the storyline is original, and I think the dialogue's going to be great as always. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's we're gonna have when you guys see some of the prizes and stuff, things are gonna look similar to what we've received in the past. I do know one cranky old person who will be happy that some things are not iterations of a character; they are costumes for a character. But I think he might be the only one. Uh, so let's jump to some overview facts about the event. These are things that we are always asked, so listen up so you don't ask the question again. First of all, you will need to be on level 15 to participate in this event. Characters needed for event currency. These will be used throughout each act. No Fab Four this time, but we have the tremendous trio of Homer, Lisa, and Bart. And then we've got Flanders, Wiggum, Lovejoy, of course, Quimby, Jesus. It's not a party without Jesus. And new premiums, of which there'll be four, one for each act. Are pretty standard with the prize track. Each prize track contains 5 prizes, so 20 prizes total. Here's what the prize track includes: 1 new character, 1 NPC, 1 costume, 1 facade, 9 new buildings, and 7 new decorations. Okay, Saf, let's go over the prize track. And as we discuss it, I will put some images up on the screen like we always do. So for Act 1, the first prize is Barnacle Bay Church, which is a new building. And then we've got the Tree of Knowledge, which is a decoration. And then third prize is Gary the Unicorn, which is the NPC. And then we've got Springfield Cathedral, which is another building. And finally, rounding out the Act 1 prize track is Adam, which will be a costume for Homer. This is not a standalone. This one is a costume. Saf, thoughts on those prizes?
uh, I mean, overall, again, we kind of just discussed this when we were kind of prelude to it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the content looks similar to content we've already had before. The fact that it's a skin for Homer, who has what, 27, like about 30 skins. Yeah, I've lost track of
8
how many.
million. That's how many. 8 million.
Right. Like, how often are you gonna use the skin of Homer? And like most events, or and even mini events, Homer is busy taking care of the mini event tasks. So it's something that yeah, I'm not too looking forward to too much, but just because I feel like once the event is over, or even during the event, depending on whether his skin comes into play, it's something that I won't really be using much. Um, and the prizes, like I said, they look very similar to prizes that we already have in our towns. So yeah, overall, a little underwhelmed. How about you? What do you think of Act One prize track?
I mean, it's Act 1. That's the way I look at it. It's not terrible. I mean, I do enjoy the fact that there is an NPC. There are no mystery box tokens. I personally am happy about that. Um, I do think like Springfield Cathedral is similar to a lot of other buildings we have in Springfield already. Tree of Knowledge is a tree. We'll have to see what it actually does. I do. I am. I'm kind of on the cranky old guy bandwagon with these characters. I feel like there's too many iterations for a lot of them. So I am kind of happy that this one's a skin um, and not a character. Because then I also feel like that's kind of just a lazy way of being like, here's a new character. So I feel like it's an Act 1 prize track. It's not great, but it's not awful, in my opinion. It could always be worse. There's no mystery box token. All right, Act 2. Prize 1 on the Act 2 prize track is the Crushed Flanders House. This is a facade for Flanders' house. Then we've got the Jesus Cube, which is a building for Springfield. And then we've got the Rapture Bus, a decoration. Heavenly Playscape, another decoration. And then rounding out the Act 2 prize track, we have Angela, which is the lone full character on the prize tracks. Saf, thoughts on Act 2?
Act 2 is heavenly. I'm in second heaven. So, what was it when Apu had the quintuplets? I can't remember, but yeah. So,
You mean
anytime you have
octuplets?
yeah, the octuplets, sorry. Yeah, but he was like, we're in seventh heaven. Would you say you're in eighth this? And then he's like, we're on cloud nine. And they're like, oh, that's even better. But yeah, like anytime you have a free character on a prize track, it is a great prize track. And when you add the fact that there's no mystery token, it goes from a great prize track to an excellent prize track. So yeah, I'm really happy with this prize track. The decorations too. I mean, the bowling pin on the Flanders house looks great. Overall, yeah, I'm quite happy with this prize track. I kind of wish it was the fourth prize track to like end on a really high note. I feel like they've set themselves up for disappointment going forward with such a high prize track in Act Two. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going back down that pattern of prize tracks we had a couple years ago, where Act 1, Act 2, and then whoop, falls off the cliff. So we'll see what happens. But I do think this probably is the best prize track of the event itself. But we'll see. We'll see. I do also like Crush Flanders' house. It makes me giggle. All right, Act 3. The prize track for Act 3. First prize is a decoration. It is the Heavenly Garage. Then we've got the Heavenly Pedicure Hut, which is a building. Are we noticing a pattern here? And then we've got St. Peter's Desk, which is a decoration. And then we've got Regular Heaven, which is also a building. And then we've got Heaven Reception, which is another building. Saf, thoughts on Act 3?
It's not. It's all right. I mean, I do like the fact that everything is kind of cohesive. You can see that it goes well together in a certain area. It's like they put that like into people who design that that people can make a whole heaven specific to this event type of heaven area. So,
Heaven on
sure.
Earth, Heaven in
Heaven on
Springfield,
Earth, yeah.
pocket-sized
So
heaven.
heaven in Springfield. So yeah. I do like that it's very cohesive and all that. No mystery box token, like you said, and there's no character, but at least the items do feel a little fresher than the ones in Act One. So overall, I'd say it's not Act Two, but it's a pretty decent prize track. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it's not a bad price track. I mean, you've got several buildings on that one, and I agree with your point. Again, there's no mystery box token, so you can't be upset about it. But I agree with your point, though. They're listening to people who said that they want to make a cohesive area, so everything kind of goes together, it flows together, so you can create your own event-specific area of town, which is nice. All right, moving on to Act 4, the final act of this event. The first prize on the Act 4 prize track is the Vacant Cloud, which is a decoration for Springfield. And then we've got the Heavenly Showroom, another building for Springfield. Then we've got Gates of Heaven, which is a decoration, and unlocking the Gates of Heaven will include a few heavenly fence pieces, because what good's a gate without a fence? And of course, you will then be able to buy more fences in the store, likely for donuts. I don't have an official word on that, but likely for donuts. I will also note, for those of you who don't like to really think about buying things until the very end of the event, they will disappear with the event. So if you want fences, buy them as soon as they unlock and get as many as you would like to get, because once the event ends, you will not be able to get them. I know that happens to some people and they end up getting stuck. All right, Act 4 prize. The fourth prize on the Act 4 prize track is Celebrity Heaven, which is another building for Springfield. And the final prize of this event is a hot dog cooker bot. No, it is Hindu Heaven, which is a building for Springfield. Safi, you did not take a drink. I am very disappointed. And thoughts on the Act 4 prize track?
So with the Act 4 prize track, It's I got kind of mixed feelings about it. I mean, I do like no Mr. Ross joking, yes. Some of it feels a little bit like Springfield Heights. I find like the Celebrity Heaven looks a lot like some of the buildings from Springfield Heights. I feel like what was the fences that are coming in. Like I'm one of those people that whenever an event comes, I load up on fences because you never know when you'll need more in your design. So I'm going to get a lot of them, but they look like a lot of the fences that we have in Springfield Heights. I kind of wish to have more of like that heavenly motif to it. Had some clouds, it was floating, and again, maybe once it does come in our game, maybe it is a floating fence for all we know, and my opinion completely changes. But just from a still image of it, it looks very similar to the fences that you can get for your ornate, or not the ornate pieces, excuse me. One of the Springfield Heights currency, I'm drawing a blank on which one, but the gold fence looks very similar to that. So,
well, I will note just that the gate has the clouds, so the gate
the
will
gate has
float.
clouds, exactly.
So the gate floats, then the fences should float. They just don't have clouds in the image, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, that could definitely change it, and definitely pique my interest in buying even more if that's the case. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential. We have a few floating objects in our Springfield, like Radioactive Man's Lair. So I'm kind of curious to see with all the designs of the Act 3 and Act 4 prizes to see, are they quite stationary on the ground, or do they have that little bit of an element where they appear to be hovering over Springfield? Or are they something where next level where they're really hovering over, where you can have other buildings underneath it? So kind of curious for that.
I feel like this event is EA's answer for people who don't have enough space. Don't have enough space in Springfield? Build above it. So we're gonna have a lot of floating things. We'll have a lot of floating areas. I feel like is gonna happen. So heaven won't wait because your Springfield is full. So that's my thought.
I mean, if it's floating, I feel like that raises it to another level because now the possibilities are all of, you can have the original heaven and hell items that we have from various Christmas and Halloween events, and right above it have this heaven on earth. So, which is funny because heaven on earth is above heaven. So,
there you go.
Yeah, talk about metaphor or not metaphor, sorry, but yeah. Yeah, I say French, I'm forgetting. It's 1 a.m.
All right, let's talk premium content. We've got 4 new combos with this, 1 per act. So these are 4 event-specific premium combos. These again are released for each act, and these are the ones that will help you earn event currency for this event. These are the 4 we talked about at the top. There's 1 per act, as I mentioned. They are 150 donuts each, so there's 600 donuts total needed for event-specific premium characters. So that's what you're going to need just for the ones that will help you earn event currency. Gil will be making an appearance during this event, and we should see him back around Act 3. Gil's deal, according to EA, will cost 150 donuts this time around, so you will need 750 donuts for all event-specific premiums. All right, let's jump into the Heaven Won't Wait Gil deal details. Try saying that 10 times fast. All right, this time around, the Gil deal for 150 donuts is the Heavenly Water Slide and Angel Flanders. This is a decoration and a costume for Ned. I do anticipate the decoration will earn not event currency, will earn a bonus percentage. I do not know what that is yet. That'll be something we'll see when the files actually get released. And again, it's a costume for Ned, it's not a full character. It's not a different iteration of Ned. It is a costume for him. Seth, thoughts on Gil's promo?
I mean, I do like the slides that are coming there. Again, it's a skin for Ned, another character who has so many skins. But at least they've reduced the price point back down to 150. I mean, if this was 200 or 250, I would be like a lot more upset about it. 150 for skin for Ned and a pretty cool decoration, especially if it floats. Like we're hoping that it will. Initially I wasn't thinking about that, but as we're discussing it more and more, I'm kind of really looking forward to floating items. So if they don't float, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. Or even, but
I feel like it'll float, but who knows? It's hard to say.
Yeah. So Yeah, overall 150 is not a bad price. It's a pretty decent, respectable price for 150 donuts.
All right, let's jump to the event-specific premiums. So one item that I don't believe will float is the Act 1 premium combo, which is the Garden of Eden and Eve. Eve is a costume for Marge, and Garden of Eden is a building. Saf, thoughts on Act 1 premium?
Again, it's a skin for Marge. It's not my most exciting premium that comes with this event, but it does go well with the fact that you got a skin for Homer with Adam. So it fits in well with that theme. So unfortunately, I have enough donuts that I would still get it. But for those who are a little donut poor and are only going to get one or two, then this may not be the one for you.
Okay, for Act 2, we've got Candy Heaven and Shakespeare. Now, I know this is something that Sam would absolutely love. Candy Heaven. I think he feels like he goes into this every day when he's in his class because there's 18 million birthdays every day. So we've got Candy Heaven and Shakespeare, which is a decoration and a full character. So this, unlike other heavens in this game, Candy Heaven is a decoration, not a building. But Shakespeare, unlike other characters, is a character and not a costume. Thoughts on this one?
So I really like getting Shakespeare full character. It'll be nice to have him to go along with some of the other historical figures that we have in our game, especially from that era. So it'll be nice. Candy Heaven looks okay. I mean, I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I mean, if I have to go to heaven in Springfield, Candy Heaven's probably not the first one I want to go to. Like where are the Reese Pieces or where's some of the other, like I just see candy canes. It looks more like
I also see a donut, and donuts aren't candy. Just saying.
oh yeah, it's not really I guess the type of candy that I like. So yeah, not as thrilled about Candy Heaven, the design for it. What do you think of Candy Heaven?
I don't know. I'll have to see how it plays out. I expect some kind of bonus percentage with this. I expect it to be animated. There is a chocolate waterfall going through it, so we'll have to see what happens. What happens when you tap it? What happens regularly? At the moment, I don't know how I feel about Candy Heaven. Uh, all right, Act 3 prize track combo. And again, I feel like I'm mentioning Cranky Old Guy a lot in this video tonight, but a lot of this reminds me of him. And I don't know if it's just because there's old people or there's a lot of references to the old man. All right, so this one is the Heavenly Golf Course and St. Peter. This is a decoration and a full character. And again, I feel like Cranky Old Guy would really like this one. It's got a golf course that's probably going to float and St. Pete. So, I don't think he'll complain. Saf, thoughts on this one?
Well, nothing says St. Peter to me like a golf course.
Right?
So
It's like an interesting combo.
yeah, the combos for this event are a little out there, but yeah, the golf course definitely looks really cool. I'm kind of curious to see whether the two pieces are connected as one, like they'll move in the same motion, or if you give up one hole somewhere and put another hole completely somewhere else. Because we do have a couple of different holes in the image that are being shown to us. And then St. Peter, I mean, again, another full standalone character. So I am excited about this.
I
For
like
me,
how he's walking around with a giant key.
the key, right? Yeah, you gotta have the key. So that's why I was gonna say. Yeah, this will probably be my favorite premium combo of the event.
All right, and rounding out the event-specific premiums, Act 4 brings us Heavenly Def Jam and Beethoven. Dun dun dun. That's a decoration and a full character. And again, I expect Heavenly Def Jam to have bonus percentage with it. So what the prize track lacks in characters, the premium content, of course, makes up for it. Thoughts on those, Saf, or on Act 4's prize track, or not prize track, premium content. I can't speak.
Yeah, no, overall, I think this one's really cool. Between Shakespeare and Beethoven, it was a pretty close tie for me. I do like the Heavenly Def Jam, though. So I would probably, if I had to rank the four, For me, St. Peter is number one with the golf course, even though the combination doesn't quite make the most sense to me there. But I've put Beethoven slightly above Shakespeare, and then followed by the skin for Marge, Eve as number four. But overall, yeah, I like all the premium content. It's nice that we're getting a lot of characters here. Like you said, the premium track only has the one in Angela, but you got three full characters in the premium content. So, yeah, overall, pretty happy with that.
So a couple other things to note, as I mentioned a moment ago, I don't see any info about a donut promo with this one, so I personally do not know if one's coming. I did ask EA for some follow-up information. It's possible they will get back to me after we've recorded this, and if that's the case, I'll put some notes in the post about it. But at the moment, I do not see a donut promo. I don't know if the Temptation Serpent is going to fall in line with that, or again, if that's the tie-in with the Garden of Eden. So we'll have to see how that works out. There also is a Heaven Won't Wait mystery box with this event as far as content. Again, I'm not going to list everything right now. There's a lot of stuff in this box. So we'll lay out what's inside in the rundown post once the event actually hits our games. But for the basic idea, honestly, it's essentially what the title says. It's content from various religious and not so religious type of events in TSTO. From what I can tell, that mystery box will cost tokens. So you will likely be able to buy tokens from the store using donuts, as we generally see. And again, there are no tokens on the mystery box, at least that I've been informed of. We do have 20 full prizes, not 16 prizes plus 4 mystery box tokens. So we'll see. All right, Saf, do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to the event starting on Wednesday. Yeah, well, I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, so guys, that's going to do it from us for now. Hopefully the spoiler video gets you prepped for this event, and look for it to start on Wednesday, April 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And once it goes live, we will, of course, have a rundown post for you up on TSTOaddicts.com with all the info you will need for Act 1 and beyond. And we will be back again with more spoilers in the future, hopefully not from my office at 1:30 in the morning. But until then, thanks for watching and enjoy.